All right, Central Texas. Chief Meteorologist Erica Lopez here in the KVUE Storm Center, giving you a weather update as to what is to come with some stormy weather headed our way. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you are having a great evening. We have a lot to talk about. So we have a flash flood watch that was issued earlier today by the National Weather Service. It's officially in effect by Wednesday morning, so tomorrow morning. And it's going to remain in effect until Thursday evening. Notice our central and western counties are included in that, even though areas east of Austin technically not included in that flash flood watch. That could change. So, just make sure we're staying weather aware. And it does not mean you may not deal with any flooding concerns. We're still tracking heavy rain that will be pushing through the entire KVUE viewing area. So let's start off with what's happening on radar right now and kind of give you the setup in the big picture. Also want to let you know that I'll have our Facebook Live feed here up so I can answer any questions after I get through our current conditions and also our forecast and what we're expecting. And as far as what we're expecting right now, or what we're tracking on satellite and radar, just some light showers. Tonight, not going to be a huge issue, but this is moisture that's coming in from what is a tropical system out in the Pacific. Take a look at that swirl. Do you see the cloud coverage that's ongoing right now? That is actually what is Tropical Storm Pamela out in the Pacific. Now, normally we talk a lot about what's happening in the Atlantic. Pamela is a system that's in the Pacific, but moving closer to the coastal areas of Mexico. Once it does make landfall as a Cat 1, it's going to quickly deteriorate, but because of what's happening in the upper levels of our atmosphere, that is sucking in all the moisture from Pamela and shooting it straight into Texas. So on top of Pamela's moisture, we're also tracking a pretty big system that is a big weather story across the country right now. Let me pull up this graphic here. So this system, it's been a huge snowmaker for the higher elevations of the Rockies, for the Four Corners region, moving in from the Pacific Northwest. It's bringing in a severe weather threat tonight. See the yellow shaded polygons? Those are actually tornado watches that are in effect, and then a line of severe thunderstorms that's moving through Kansas right now. That's all associated with the system where we currently are in the warm sector. So if you haven't stepped outside today, you're missing out on the very sticky, soupy type of weather that we've been dealing with all day. That's because a warm front has dragged in a lot of Gulf moisture. So we have moisture coming in from the Gulf of Mexico. We have moisture coming in from what will be remnants of Pamela, but even still, right now, a little bit of a river of moisture from Pamela pumping into Texas. And that is all going to clash with this frontal boundary right here that is moving slowly across West Texas, and it's slowly going to push through Central Texas. So what that's going to do is bring lift in the atmosphere, and that basically squeezes all of the moisture out in the atmosphere, kind of like when you get a very damp rag that's soaking wet. You have it under the sink and then you wring it, so you squeeze all of the moisture out. That's exactly what that cold front is going to do to our atmosphere once it makes its way to Central Texas, which is why we are officially under a flash flood watch tomorrow through through Thursday. And rainfall accumulation, especially out in the hill country, I think we could have several spots that are going to see 6+ inches of rain, and that's in about a 48-hour period. But actually, the majority of it is going to fall Wednesday night into early Thursday morning. So I'm going to take graphics full here, show you a closer look as to what one computer model is showing. This is our graph computer model. It's our in-house computer model showing a mainly quiet night tonight, but with a little bit of lift increasing in the atmosphere and also moisture pumping in from Pamela. We still could have some scattered showers and storms moving throughout the day tomorrow. So tomorrow, rain chances, 70% chance throughout the day. But when we really need to be weather aware will be late Wednesday night into early Thursday. This is when the boundary will slowly be pushing through, bringing in the most lift in the atmosphere and activating strong storms with heavy rainfall and a pretty big flash flood threat. Notice the storms do weaken a little bit as they move east, and we'll have clearing skies from west to east. I do think after we get through midday Thursday, the rest of the day is going to be pretty quiet. So it's going to be the first half of Thursday primarily. But that's going to bring us these dangerous rainfall totals that will range anywhere from 3 to 5+ inches. Again, isolated spots up to about ½ foot of rain possible for the hill country and even folks along I-35. And as it moves further east, those rainfall accumulation chances, they do lessen. Quick look at the 7-day forecast here because there's some light at the end of the tunnel. After we get through Thursday, we still have an isolated rain chance Friday with another cold front pushing through. That cold front is going to be the type of cold front that we like to talk about. That cold front is actually going to bring in some cool fall-like weather, dropping highs to the 70s and lows to the 50s and even 40s for Austin. That means hill country, low 40s, maybe even close to 30s for some isolated low-lying rural areas. And that would be late in the weekend or into early next week. Okay, so I am going to bring back what's happening on radar. And I'm going to pull up our Facebook Live feed here so I can answer your questions. So if you're tuning in, let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know how you're holding up, if you're excited for this weather or if you're more excited for the cooler temperatures that are arriving this weekend. All right, Bill tuning in from San Marcos. How are you, Bill? Let's see, Kingsland, folks tuning in from Kingsland, Georgetown. Is rain flash flooding? Oops, I lost that question. Sorry, as comments are coming in, then I lose them. Is rain flash flooding the biggest threat? Ashley's asking. Yes, that's going to be your biggest threat. Now, I think we still will have some strong storms that could bring in gusty winds, maybe small hail at worst. But I do think that the flash flooding will be our primary concern. Deborah can't wait for the cooler temperatures. I'm with you, Deborah. This weekend is going to be phenomenal. Susan's also saying that she's tuning in from Gerald and she can't wait for the weather this weekend. Yeah, I think most of us are going to vote for the weather this weekend, right? Candace is saying storm anxiety is real. Praying for the best so I can sleep throughout tomorrow night. Yes, tomorrow night's going to be the busy night. So tomorrow night's going to be the night that we'll be here in the studio. Someone will be on staff, 24/7, making sure we're keeping you updated on our digital platforms, also on KVUE.com and on the TV side if any warnings do pop up. But it's also kind of your job to make sure you have multiple ways to receive those weather alerts, because we can be here talking our ear off all night long, but it's unless you have those notifications turned on the KVUE app or notifications turned on Twitter or tuning in on Facebook for you to actually be informed. Bobby's tuning in from Austin off of Riverside, waiting for some good old cool weather. I am with you, Bobby. Definitely with you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is let y'all go. It was fun chatting and tuning in for you. I wanted to do this quick update because we have a flash flood watch that's in effect. Again, the main threat is going to be tomorrow night into early Thursday morning. I'm going to be talking about it coming up on the 10 p.m. newscast in 20 minutes. So you can tune in then. Katie's asking one more time for future radar. So I'm going to show you a sneak peek of that future radar one more time. As this flash flood watch is officially in effect tomorrow morning, we'll have some rounds of strong storms possibly in the morning. Tomorrow there's a 70% chance of rain, but the worst of it is going to be late Wednesday night, moving into the hill country after about 9 p.m. But notice a slow moving system will be moving from west to east. That's bringing overnight storms for I-35. That includes us here in Austin, clearing out by early Thursday morning, but our eastern counties will have the bulk of that action very early Thursday morning. In the hill country, you're done and starting to clear out. So that was a quick look at radar, future radar, I should say, what our computer models are showing. And I'll chat with y'all later. Be safe and stay with us here in the KVUE Storm Center.